Well, I think that we all have to recognize where we came from. And like I said, our culture is unique because we have the Chippewa, we have the French, we have the Cree. And so basically, we formed our own culture from the cultures that we had. And it became known as the Michif culture. Some people call it Métis because of Louis Riel and the Canadian movement that he had. But we all have to have our own identity. We all have to know where we came from. We all have to realize that we are an important part of a family, and that family leads back for generations. And who was in that particular lineal history is who we are. And if we can understand that, and if we can grow from that, and if we can accept that, then that's going to help us to be able to survive no matter where we go. It's always hard for a lot of our Native people to leave the reservation because they don't think that they will be accepted a lot of times. A lot of times they have they're so close to family that they can't leave family. And so that becomes a real issue, especially when you're looking at the high unemployment rate on the reservation, and people say, well, why don't they just leave to get a job? Well, for a lot of them, they don't want to leave their family. They don't want to leave their mom or their dad, or they don't want to leave their brothers and sisters. And I have lived most of my life on the reservation. I have also lived off the reservation when I went to college, and then also when I and my husband lived a short time in Fargo when we had our business going there. And so I have lived, in both worlds, but there's nothing like home. And a lot of people feel that way, but I think for Native American people it's stronger. And you have a lot of people who have worked 30, 40 years in the outside world, and then they come back to the reservation when they retire, and they always have this sense that I need to go home, and they may not have even family there anymore, but that's their home, and they know that that's their home. And so that in itself is a strong part of the identity that we all have. And I always remember back to what my dad had told me, and I live by this, and he had said that you're no better, but you're no worse. And I always remember that when you go to meet with anybody or whatever. And I've always kept that in mind, and I've always thought that, and I know that. I know within my heart that I'm no better, but I'm no worse.